Kurt, welcome, bro.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. So this is the first one of these podcasts I've had to have since I was technically eliminated from the show. And it was sad to see you go, bro. Or at least you got to go to Argentina, because I fucking didn't.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately for Glenn, who packed his bags and didn't get to go on the trip.
Mate, that was rough, eh?
I was there for 36 hours.
I felt that was rough. That was rough. Yeah, no, at least you got to go.
Yeah, but that was all you're doing. You walked out on that time, and
I know.
we're like, oh, we're on shock again, another plot twist, and then out comes, as we know you now, as the mole.
The mole.
Yeah.
You guys had no idea.
No, not at all. See, Terrence had an inkling
Yeah.
very early on, but no one thought nothing at all until you turned back up again on those steps.
Yeah. You got thrown off the scent.
Yeah.
That's great.
That was an interesting experience.
So, brother, you were a genuine contestant on the Bachelorette. Why did you decide to apply? Did you legitimately apply?
No. Actually, I didn't actually apply at all.
Really?
So in my line of work, unfortunately, I have to answer a lot of unknown callers.
Yeah.
So I got a phone call. I was at work, and I got a phone call, and it was an unknown number. I was like, good afternoon, Kurt speaking. They're like, hi, this is blah, blah, blah from Warner Brothers. Do you have a moment to talk about your application? And I'm like, yeah, what application? They're like, are you Kurt Johnston? Yes. Are you 30 years of age? Yes. Are you blah, 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 X, Y, Z? I'm like, yep. And this time I'm puzzled and complexed.
Yeah.
I've got no idea what is going on. And she's like, I've got some photos of you as well. So she sent me these photos through to me, and they were like the last 4 photos from my Instagram at the time.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, what's this involving? And I was like, oh, this is the Bachelorette. Looking for cast, we got this application. It's missing a few video components, but we like what we see.
Hey.
Did you want to discuss a bit more?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. I got no idea what was going on, and we had a little chat.
Yeah.
I actually didn't think I'd make it through to the next round, to be honest. I said to them, I was like, oh, I'm not 6'4". I'm not athletic body built.
Yeah.
I got a bit dad bod, so I didn't think I'd make it.
Yeah. I think art puts a lot of people off. When you look at art, you think you got to look like that, 6'4", athletic and all that sort of thing.
Perfect jawline, white teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I didn't quite fit that mold, and so I didn't think I'd, even make it through to the next stage. Next thing I knew, I was going through a psyche evaluation, and
Really?
I got a contract saying, congratulations, you're casted.
You went through a psych evaluation and you still got through. I'm surprised, kid.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't need a test to tell me that I was a bit crazy, but hey.
So speaking of work, what do you do, bro? What exactly do you do? Let's get the lowdown on the real Kurt. What do you do, brother?
Oh, funny you say that. I actually brought something from work as well.
Why did you? What did you bring?
We have some single malt whiskey right here.
Oh,
So,
no. What do we got here? We got the Glen Grant.
so we have the Glen Grant 12-year-old.
We've got a Glen Grant single malt Scotch whiskey, 12 years old, non-chilled filtered.
It's from Speyside, so it's got a lot of our
Do the
softer,
underbelly.
elegant floral notes.
Yep.
So my title is the Business Development Manager
Yep.
for Campari New Zealand, GTR, which stands for Global Travel Retail. So my job is to look after my portfolio throughout all the duty-free stores within New Zealand.
Yeah. Cool.
Auckland, Queenstown, Christchurch, Wellington, Dunedin. Get to travel throughout the country and sample and talk about some wonderful products.
Wonderful. Now, you're a refined man, Kurt. This is one of the things I liked about you on the show when we were all hanging out, is that you're a man who wasn't afraid to wasn't afraid to wear accessories, and you certainly knew how to put on a suit. That was pretty cool. I like you got the bling going on there. Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Boom. Oh, lordy. That is good.
Not too bad, isn't it?
That is very good.
Nice. And you partner with some nice whiskies and cigars.
Cigars. We do have cigars here, but unfortunately, due to OSH regulations, we can't smoke them indoors because it might poison the producer. Never mind. So you're a refined man. You know how to dress. If you guys are watching this on YouTube and not just listening, you'll see that Kurt is wearing a lovely beige ensemble, beige on beige on beige, with the pork pie hat. But it's very, very cool. God damn, you wear it well.
Yeah, I learned it from you.
Stop it. That was one of the fun parts, I have to admit. Being on the show we had a seemingly endless supply of suits and shirts and all that sort, and even accessories from the good people at Hallenstein's.
Yep.
And that was quite fun, actually, mixing and matching and teaching some of the guys who obviously have no idea about fashion sense, like your Terrences.
Yeah, to the point that some guys did not know how to tie a tie.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. I wear suits for work often, so getting to dress up wasn't as the same for me.
Yeah.
So I had the chat with a stylist
Yeah.
I was like, I wear suits quite often. What can I do
Yeah.
to be a bit different?
Yeah.
So obviously we've got Connor with his watermelon ties. He's
Yeah.
known for that.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you mentioned a bit earlier on,
Mm.
I love my accessories.
Yeah.
So I was in the gold tie clips or the chains and necklaces, or to the last point, my last rose ceremony, I was in that nice suede jacket.
That was
Which
a
is
nice
very
jacket. I
different,
remember
yes.
that. That was actually a really nice
It
jacket.
was, yeah.
That was a Helen Stein's one, eh?
It was Helen Stein's, yeah.
That was mean.
It was made from boyfriend material.
This guy. Connor was a dag though, eh? I love Connor. And he would turn up in his like bow ties. He looked like a professor, you know. He went for that kind of look.
That professor on a kid's science show.
Yeah.
He has that look about him.
Yeah. He was there to like teach the kids how to use fire and not fill them up. Anyway, good on you, Connor. He just looked sketchy. And the whole thing with the anti-vax. That was anyway. I think he's just a little bit awkward, and I think he thought a little bit too much about what I'm going to say that's going to make an impression. And the first thing that comes out of his blessed mouth was, "Are you an anti-vaxxer?"
Yeah.
Good on him. You did something cool for your first entry. What did you do?
So as if you've been watching the show, you know that I'm a bit of a baker. So I'm the real old school romantic. I love to do those little sincere little thought out little gifts. So I got this beautiful box presented with some like black and gold tissue paper.
Yeah.
Got a little teddy bear inside of it as well.
Oh,
And then I designed it with some like gold flakes and rose petals and homemade chocolates and truffles on the side of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was on the carpet and presented that to Lucina,
That's cool.
which went down pretty well.
Mm.
Have you seen the show? Art runs across the red carpet and has a
Yes.
little bite of one. So yeah.
And they were pretty impressed with it too, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
I haven't got a contract yet, so Betty's, if you're listening.
What was that? New Zealand's next top baker. I reckon you should be on that show. Is that TVNZ? Can I say that?
Yeah, NZ Bake Off.
NZ Bake Off.
NZ Bake Off.
NZ Bake Off. I reckon you should give that a crack. So let's go right back to the very beginning when we all rocked up together. I arrived late, which was quite funny because I was told I was going to be on 2 hours earlier. What you had some interaction with some of the boys before that first day.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think they've got to get everybody together and all that sort of stuff. What were your feelings though before you actually drove up and then onto the red carpet to meet Lucina for the first time?
Yeah, so if you even go back a little bit further to that, I had a taxi come pick me up from my house, which was already pre-organised, and just sitting in the taxi on the way to our first little stop to get ready for the red carpet. And yeah, you just kind of sitting there like going through all these scenarios in your head and like, what am I got to experience? Who are these other guys? What are they here for? If you're familiar with some of the other shows, you know there's always been the odd plot twist or a plant inside of it at the time.
Yeah.
Like Australian Bachelorette, we had the girl's brother.
That's
Was in the show, yeah.
Yep.
So there's a few different bits and pieces. So I was a little bit nervous, a little bit excited,
Yeah.
unsure,
Yeah.
because it's completely out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Something that like I said, I didn't apply to be on the show.
Yeah.
So it was something that was mixed bags of emotions, going through all the the waves of emotions,
Yeah.
just like supporting the Warriors.
We'll get back to that, bro. We'll get back to that. Yeah.
Ride the emotions and a bit excited, a bit nervous. And yes, overall it wasn't too bad. But then turning up for the first time and getting mic'd up,
Yeah.
and getting told you have to do hair and makeup and getting ready for the camera, that was again a whole new world, something that you haven't really experienced before. So you kind of see it elsewhere, but you never expect it's going to be you. So you're getting all mic'd up and you can see all the nervous energy. You could feed off it. Everyone's getting the same, except for you.
Yeah.
No, you come cool, calm, collective. Walked out with a dog, which wasn't yours.
Wasn't my dog.
No. Sir Barrington.
To Barrington.
Yeah.
That was Jonathan's dog.
Yeah, young
Little
Jono.
pug. Yep.
Got to feel sorry for him though.
Don't you? Hey. I felt really bad for him, like, because he doesn't get his rose. But that episode was just, oh man, because both times he had decent one-on-one time with each of the girls over the period of about 3 days. And he just panicked, I think, and he wanted to get all of him and all of his views out as quickly as possible. Want to get married, want the kids, all that sort of stuff. And he just got a little bit carried away with that poor guy, and he was just nervous. But he never got enough of an opportunity, I felt.
Well, he was the first person to swoop. as there's no one now.
Yeah, swoop.
Hashtag magpie.
Hashtag magpie.
Yep.
For those who know what swooping is, that was when one of the boys would interrupt a date or a one-on-one session with with the bachelorette or one of the bachelorettes. So another contestant, another guy would just cut in and cut his lunch, and that happened from time to time. That was called swooping. And Jonathan, he was the first.
He did, yeah. He did the charge.
He did,
which is very unlike him.
Yeah,
You know, I see quite reserved, quite standoffish, but to touch base on what you just said, he felt like he missed his opportunities a little bit earlier on, so he flooded the full of ambition, kids, marriage, the whole work. So bless Jono.
Bless Jono.
Bless
his little
Jono.
heart.
Yeah.
So there were a few guys who were a little bit awkward, like Jono. I mean, you've got the classic, which everyone talks about, young Glenn. So Glenn, I feel sorry for Glenn. I think Glenn is a genuinely nice guy, but he's just socially a little bit awkward.
Correct.
Very awkward.
Yep.
You know, he's one of these people who doesn't have much of a filter, and he says things and does things which are just, are they out of character for him? Hard to say. You can't say it's not because he does.
Yeah, he said those things.
know?
It wasn't prompted for him to say those lines, so you can't say it's out of character.
No.
But yeah, I feel like he was just a little bit socially inept a little bit.
Yeah. Not much tact.
And he didn't really know how to hold himself in different scenarios. So, because when he was just with the lads, he was fine.
Yeah. He was all good.
He was. I feel like he definitely played on to it towards the back end a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like he didn't do himself a lot of favors at certain parts, but
I think he was trying to get the attention not only of the girls but also the guys, and he was just being a little bit too, I don't know if macho is the right word, but he was trying to be a little bit too much, to trying to get too much attention from everybody instead of just focusing on why he's there and just being himself.
Yeah.
For the first wee while. I think after a few days, though, he did get better.
He did, yes.
And then he focused on what he was there for. But I think it's classic social stuff. When you've got a group of people, guys, we're animals at the end of the day. And we're all going to be checking each other out.
Yep.
And we're going to be beefing up the chest and all that sort of thing. And I think Glenn, he was just a little bit off-piste a little bit. He went off-piste a few times and just made it a little awkward. Who are some of the guys that you thought, who were the real chest puffers in your mind?
The Gibbons.
The Gibbons.
The Gibbons.
Who are the Gibbons?
So you're going to be looking at the likes of Mark. Mark's probably the classic.
Oh, gosh.
I'm
checking on my whiskey because I'm remembering that Mark is the only one who's got his fucking dick out on the show. I mean, that was, full credit to him, whatever. If you're that confident, great. But
not my cup of tea. I would
argue. Because you've got tact, my friend. It's not that you haven't got what it takes. It's just you've got tact.
Oh no! If I had a body like Mark, though, I'd still be at least shirtless half the time.
Yeah, true. Hey?
Yeah,
true.
But,
he's pretty shredded, eh?
Oh yeah, he bit fit. Not along those was Liam.
Yeah, Liam.
Liam was along those lines.
Yeah.
And then to a certain extent, the Tavita and Jesse were in that kind of cliquey alpha, top of the food chain.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Glenn kind of wanted to fit part of the whole going to the gym aspect of it. Just didn't quite blend in.
No. And then he would say things, and because he was awkward, he was easy prey. So he would say something awkward, like when he was saying that, such and such. Who was it? Mark was asking if Aaron needed his permission or something on the show?
No, yes, I think Glenn said you need my permission to kiss Lucina.
Yeah, and clearly that's a joke. But then because he's a little bit socially awkward, the other guys picked up on that and they just swooped on him a little bit.
Easy prey a little bit.
Easy prey. Yeah. Especially someone like Mark. Yeah, what do you mean by that? You know what I mean? What I mean? And that was a bit, they just picked on them a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the way that went. But then there's also people like Aaron as well, I think. Aaron actually thinks he's an alpha male. He's the only one who says, I am an alpha male. He has it tattooed on himself.
Yeah. And alpha male of group.
AMOG, alpha male of the group.
Yeah.
He couldn't be further from an alpha male if he tried. Hey, it's like, dude, stop trying. The first rule of alpha male, don't try to be an alpha male. Just be you.
Yeah.
But he struggled as well, I think, and he just wanted to be
accepted.
He wanted to be accepted. He recognized that there were other alphas in the group, and they were much more overt than he was, and he tried to be a little overt, but his way of doing it was a little bit negative. That's something that I picked up on. So that's kind of weird. Who else? Who else have we got? That was sort of... Jesse was there too. He was just a larrikin.
Yeah, there was Jesse. There was obviously Tavita. There was Liam, Mark. There wasn't too many of the alpha boys in the group. No,
and that surprised me.
I was thinking it was gonna be 90% of the boys, the lads, would have been the gym junkie, the overconfident, puff your chest out type. But there wasn't. There's a good collective.
Yeah.
There was obviously the more reserved, shy guys.
Yeah.
There was the middle ground. I mean, I was the hopeless romantic. I was just, but
You and Logan.
I was a little
think-
reserved though.
Yeah.
I was reserved.
Yeah.
In the first few
You were.
days, I was kind of, besides the red carpet,
Yeah.
I kind of like, actually, this is real now. And this is definitely out of my comfort zone. And so I just kind of sat back in my chair and
Yeah.
kind of like, what am I actually doing here?
Yeah.
And then I definitely warmed up the days later.
Yeah.
So I thought, if I could go back again and repeat maybe the second to fourth day
Yep.
and have the confidence I'd had the back end of the show,
Yep.
I definitely felt a lot more confident.
A bit more longer.
Yeah.
A bit more longer. You would have been a bit longer. Would have had the edge. What was I going to say? I was going to say something along the lines of, oh, that's right. It was cool to see a guy like you on the show, Kurt, because you are someone who has struggled a little bit recently with some confidence stuff. You've gone through a few situations in your life. Feel free to talk about it if you want.
Yep.
But one of the big things was you lost a lot of weight.
Correct.
Right, you ballooned out. You tell me the numbers. I don't know, but you're a large fellow, and you've had some things happen, and you lost a lot of weight. And it seemed to me, from watching you from the outside, because that was my job, to watch someone like you grow in that confidence. Admittedly, you could have gone faster, but it doesn't matter because what I saw, you definitely did grow with confidence with the guys, and you were more yourself. How do you feel about that? What was some of the changes that you made before the show, and how did you feel the changes happened during the show? What were some of the positives that came out of it for you?
Yeah, so to touch base, so I lost about 49 kilos. At my heaviest, I was almost at 150 kilos, triple digits. And I got down to under 100.
Yep.
And that was purely because I was in a 7-year relationship earlier on, and the whole relationship weight, it is a real thing.
Yeah.
You put on weight and you don't notice it over the time. That was in a combination of moving out of home for the first time, having your own money. You went under your whole parents' my roof, my rules.
Yeah.
So I could go and get McDonald's whenever I wanted.
True that.
I could have all that kind of food. So it was a bit of freedom, and obviously it took a bit of a hold on me. So the way I lost all that weight, it wasn't no fad diet. It wasn't crazy exercise. It was just small lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
So I was swapping out almost 5 liters of 5 liters of fizzy a day. Mixtures of the Coke and Red Bull and to sparkling water.
Yeah.
And that's what basically kick-started it. And then I banned myself from fast food for 2 years at the airport. So that was kind of how it happened.
Yeah.
So throughout my whole 20s, I basically didn't have the confidence even to go to the beach during summer. We look forward to our summer holidays here in New Zealand because you hit the beach.
Yeah.
Get to the lakes and pools and whatnot. I didn't get a chance to do that one. I didn't go to town and go clubbing or, in your 18, 19, 20-year-olds days. I didn't get a chance to do half the stuff because I just lacked the confidence. So when the opportunity obviously did arise and I was offered a contract, I still had time to say no to go on the show.
Right, yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I've missed a big chunk of my 20s. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
So I grasped it with both hands and jumped on the show.
Yeah.
So that did me a will of wonders. And then I did get a little bit shy again throughout the show.
Yeah.
But it's just a bit of and this is where I like to thank Tavita. So Tavita was my roommate the whole time we're in the mansion here in Auckland.
Yeah.
And after a demiked 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, Tavita and I would have some really deep and meaningful conversations. And we talked not just about life on the show, we just talked about life in general, mums and dads and families and upbringings. And he basically just reconfirmed the thoughts that I was having, saying, hey, this is a great opportunity. You've had an incredible transformation. Grasp it with both hands. Don't let another opportunity slip by. And I started getting more confident. I started feeling myself at the show. I wasn't faking who I was. I was the hopeless romantic who was there for genuine reasons.
Yeah.
And I was happy with that. That was who I was, and I felt more confident to portray that in front of the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great story. It's a good thing about Tavita too. Like Tavita, I didn't realize this, but he's got, he's had a few struggles in the past with. He's got I think a family history of mental illness along the way, so he's seen it. He's experienced it from other people. I'm not too sure about his story, so I can't vouch for his personal journeys. But he has come across from stories from the other guys, which I didn't get to see this myself. That he is quite a deep guy and a guy who really does understand the psychology of blokes and what we're going through and that sort of thing.
Absolutely.
He's an interesting cat though, because you look at his Instagram and you just wouldn't think it, because he paints an interesting portrait of himself on the gram and on different things.
A lot of gym posts.
A lot of gym posts, yeah.
But then he'll put up every now and again a real inspiring caption.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, actually, that's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But it's nice. It's just to show you, you can be a larrikin, which he describes himself as.
Yeah.
But then you can also have the side of you that is there to help everybody else.
Yeah.
That's sensitive, a soul. There's someone there that's showing support. I think he does a bit of social work as well. So
yeah. I think one of the big things I saw that was when he was hanging with that alpha group. You know what I mean? He just became something else altogether. There was definitely two sides to him.
There was.
And from watching the show, because we didn't, obviously, now that the show's on airing, we get to see both sides of him, and it's interesting watching.
Because it was picked up with the Lucina.
Yeah.
Basically, I said,
She said it straight away.
when you're with the lads, you're one type, and then when you're with me, you're someone completely different.
Yeah.
But he owned it, and he explained to him.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did. He's actually gotten better. I've noticed since you guys have been in Argentina, he's been a little bit better. I wish he'd improve his vocabulary, though, and stop saying G all the fucking time. I'm like, dude, come on. You're better than that, surely. What have been some of the... We touched on it during your whole story coming into it. But what do you think has been some of the positives being part of a reality TV show for somebody in your shoes? Just focus on that one part. So how did your confidence grow, and how did your thought process grow during the show as you were going through it?
Yeah, so it's done me world of wonders.
Yeah.
It's definitely given me a lot more confidence, not just of who I am as a person. I said, going to the show, I knew that there was a stigma around New Zealand males. Yeah. And we're a stereotype, basically. Going to be a bunch of guys with beer by a gym, basically. That was going to be what was painted as. Yeah. And I knew that I was the type of guy. I said, my mum and dad have been married for 30 plus years. And a lot of old school values. So I, even in the dating scene beforehand, I'm still the type of person who opened the car door for the lady. Yeah. I'll let someone in front of the line before me. I will offer to pay for something, or, just the little small gestures, that the chivalrous side of things. Yeah. And it was a little bit awkward because a lot of females don't know how to react to that, because it's so uncommon. Yeah, especially in Kiwi culture. I totally agree. Yeah. So they're giving me the opportunity to actually showcase that on the show. Yeah. Stephanie said, okay, it's not, and the reaction from people saying they actually enjoyed seeing that side of a guy. Yeah. Was quite refreshing, and it's giving a bit more confidence to carry on. Yeah. And a bit more reassurance, giving the confidence to carry on and doing it again. So actually, it is appreciated. Yeah. And it's not something kind of to be shy about. If someone pulls me out for it, I'm like, yeah, you own it now. Yeah. And so that's giving me that confidence now throughout the That's cool. And I picked it up throughout the series. Yeah. And they came from down to the infamous dream date that I got disqualified from. Oh, yeah. In the car. So the picnic date. The picnic dates. Like, what? We'll touch base on that one again later on. That's gutting. Again, that was the whole romantic dream date was going to be basically be showcasing the whole chivalrous side of me. Yeah. So that's going to be the big world of confidence. Yeah. And then post-show, everyone, I think a common question you always get asked, how many people have slid into your DMs? Yeah. That is the common question that I think no matter who you are, if it's Connor, if it's yourself, is it me, is Jono, Glenn, how many people have gone to your DMs? I've actually had more people come through to my DMs with positive messages of support or saying, you've inspired me on my weight loss journey. That's cool. You have given me the confidence to carry on what I didn't think was possible. Yeah. And that's really amazing to hear from people that saying, hey, my journey, and I think same as Tavita and George coming on the show as bisexual, has inspired so many other guys to feel confident in their own body or their own journey to carry on. So that's giving me this
I think that's one of the
great sense.
for a lot of the times when you apply for something like this, or you just end up being on something like this, the first few hours of being on no one has any idea that that is actually a thing, you know. And then you do get those positive messages, or you do get, you know, backlash is the wrong word. What am I looking for? Kickback of that sort of stuff.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And you do make a difference. It can add pressure, though. It can add pressure to you knowing that people are looking at you as an quote-unquote influencer, you know, to influence
role model.
Role model.
Yeah.
Yeah. Far better word, influencer. What the fuck? What are you talking about? But no, being a role model, and that's cool. And there are some of those guys on who were on the show that I'm glad have come across that way. When I came on, my job was to find the crap and filter through and, you know, do what production tells me to do. But and when I came on, I expected the ratio to be completely the opposite. I expected 90% douchebag, 10% good dudes.
Yeah.
And it was the opposite completely. 90% good dudes, 10% douchebag.
Mm-hmm.
And it made my job difficult because I had to try and find
sleuth, basically.
I had to sleuth. I was like, I don't know what to do about this. There were the obvious ones. We talk about the alphas, the chest beaters, and the guys who were
The Gibbons,
the Gibbons. But they did the job themselves. You know? They were there. They were transparent. You could see who they were. That was easy.
Bit of showboating.
But the rest of you were just like, oh man, stop being such good dudes. You know, stop being so nice. And that made me, one of the biggest questions I asked when, you know, of everybody when I was on was, why? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? And some of the guys were genuine and they, you know, hope to find something. And some of the other guys were just like, it was a bit of a dare, or they just wanted to try something different, or to do something that challenged themselves, which is really, really neat. And so, yeah, it was just interesting. It was fascinating to see that. And then for that amount of people to be, who are good of nature to be on a television show, which is one of the highest rating TV shows when it's airing, for them to be front and center, it's really, really positive. It's really, really good. And it's awesome. And I was really enjoying that. I thought this is fucking great. Guys like yourself, guys like Logan, guys like Steve. Well, at the time, Steve was nice. Now it turns out Steve,
he's still nice.
He parties hard. Nah, he's awesome. Hey, Steve's an interesting cat. Since the show finished, we've all bonded quite well. The Auckland-based guys bonded really, really well. And Steve is one of those guys who you'll go out and no matter how hungover you are the next day, and how hungover he is the next day, he will call you to make sure you're okay.
Yep.
He's such a good cat like that. So yeah, guys like Steve. And he's also, another thing I liked about Steve was he stands up for himself in a positive way. He'll have somebody up if he thinks he's being hard done by. You know, so when he had Aaron up about the smoking thing.
Yep.
So those who don't know, Lucina asked the group who smokes in the group, and Aaron just straight away goes, "Oh, Steve smokes." And that's something that Steve should be able to, you know, he wanted to tell Lucina himself. And he had Aaron up pretty hardly about it. But he did it in a really positive way. He just said, don't do that again. I
didn't appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was good. Cornered Aaron, made him feel like a bit of a dork. But sometimes it's tough love. You gotta find out that way. So yeah, guys like Steve, guys like yourself, Logan, even like Jono, George, as you say, positive role models.
Absolutely.
For guys and girls, because I think in the current dating climate, dating on apps and all that sort of stuff, there's a lot of negativity that can happen on dates or getting to know somebody. And it's nice that people can see that they're actually genuinely good people.
Exactly.
Good guys out there.
Because they only base on the information on these apps.
Yeah.
That interaction now of actually meeting someone has gone.
Yeah.
You meet them all digitally.
Yeah.
And if you don't bond over their photos or the first two lines that they send to you, you don't give them a chance. So this is something going back years ago and saying, hey, so Lucina and Lily were dating many guys.
Yeah.
And you had to get to know them in that short period of time.
Yeah.
We didn't have the luxury of texting out for a date and saying, hey, had a great time.
Yeah.
And, you know, and just like time some loose ends or just like a good night text. Yeah. We didn't have that chance. We only got to see the girls on the odd occasions.
Yeah.
So that physical interaction part, again, we break down the stereotypes as a guy.
Yeah.
So we had, I said earlier on, there was a stigma and a stereotype of what a New Zealand male is known for.
Yeah.
And I think I was quite glad that we were able to portray ourselves realistically who we actually were, to the point that we could break down stereotypes. We could break down what the public perceives of a New Zealand guy and talk about emotion and depression and mental health and a lot of things that a lot of guys are struggling with in 2020.
Yeah.
And so it was really nice to say, hey, I might have to play a part and making the stigma around these things not taboo anymore. And that was really reassuring.
Yeah. That's awesome, bro. So since the show's finished, like we finished recording months ago, but the show's currently airing. And
Correct.
You were, unfortunately,
I did get a
removed.
rose.
You did get a rose, and you
Didn't
did get
get a
Argentina. You lucky bastard.
And I was on Sky Couch too.
Were you?
So all the guys were all checked in.
Yeah.
And my time at the airport, so I've been at the airport for about 10 years.
Yeah.
8 years in my current role in the spirits industry.
Yeah.
And with Logan being a travel agent, so he's quite familiar with how planes and stuff go.
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, we'll go to Argentina. It's going to be a long time on the plane.
Yeah.
And you had an inkling that some of the guys would prank you on the plane. Well, that was my
No, I could see that.
reservation.
Yeah.
You know, a bunch of lads just living together.
Mark's the kind of guy that would put
Shave-
smelly socks on you or something, or
Or shave your eyebrow.
Yeah.
So I was like, I kind of want to be there refreshed. So I was like, you know what? We'll go and try and upgrade our seats. So we looked at upgrading to business class then. Yeah, a little bit out for a free trip. Still a bit too rich for our pockets. So Logan and I decided to upgrade ourselves to a Sky Couch each on the plane. So all these guys were sitting in rows of 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Then there's Logan and I on opposite sides of the plane, lie down beds and Sky Couches.
Yeah.
And then we happened to sweet talk my flight attendant, and we got Tavita hooked up as well with the Sky Couch.
Me.
So all these guys are all cramped up with their knees
that's
to the
the
chest.
worst. How long's the flight from? You went straight to Argentina?
Yeah, so Air New Zealand flies direct from Auckland to
Buenos Aires?
Buenos Aires.
Yep.
It's about 13, 14-hour flight.
That's a long time.
a bit of a
mate.
long time.
It's a long time to be, as a tall person as well, being one who was of the 6'4". It's painful. It's the worst. I flew to Johannesburg once from here, and it was like a 14-hour flight. Oh, it's
terrible.
diabolical.
So when you have the comforts of the extra leg room,
Yeah.
and we also had access to the lounge as well, so we went and had a shower before we hopped on the plane. So we're a bit
Oh,
more
the lounge.
So
Yeah.
we're a bit more relaxed than some of the rest of the guys as well,
Yeah.
which is great.
Me. What was it like when you'd left, though? So since you've left the show, so we can't go too much into what happens behind the scenes, but
Not at all.
once you've come back, before what were there any anxieties before they started the marketing? Before your picture was put in Stuff and the Herald and everything like that, were there any anxieties? How were you feeling about that?
I was just anxious, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't really talk about it. A lot of people didn't know I went away, even in the work scene.
Yeah.
Because I do travel quite a bit for work. They just assumed that I was away on another trip, which is fine. So when I got back to Auckland and filtered back into the real world, that transition was easy.
Yeah.
The Christmas, New Year's is a little bit harder because the drinks start flowing and you want to get a bit more chatty, but you can't.
Yep.
And then once you kind of realize, okay, it's about to happen, you get the anxious. You're kind of like, oh, just be announced, so I can talk about it a bit more. Just put my foot up there. Just announce me, so I can just feel a bit more relaxed.
Just waiting for a day. So come on.
And then it did.
Yeah.
And you felt a weight was off your shoulders.
Yep.
But then you started thinking, okay, now how am I portrayed on the show?
Yeah.
But I see, I was quite fortunate enough that I knew that I was going to be tied into the Warriors. That was going to be my whole characters.
Yes, the Mighty Warriors.
Yeah, so we won't talk about that on this
We'll do on it briefly, but we won't go too much because everyone knows you're the biggest Warriors fan in the world.
Oh, yeah, give Super Leach a run for his money, but he's the number one supporter. I won't take that title, but I'm a bit of a Warriors fan, yes.
Yeah.
So, waiting for that to kind of come out to see how you kind of portrayed and just see the initial reaction from the public and how they're going to think.
Yeah.
Yes or no.
Yeah.
We do like this guy or we don't. Again, your first impressions count. And obviously, I didn't get the first impression rose. Quinn did.
Yep.
Again, Quinn's another guy who's a really genuine guy.
Oh, Quinn. Yeah.
We didn't touch base on Quinn.
Yeah.
He's a really nice guy as well.
Really nice guy.
So, he got the first impression rose.
Yeah.
And Lucina did say at the time, if she had a second first impression, she'd have given it to me, which is reassuring again.
Yeah.
So, it was just a weight off your shoulders once you're finally announced and your photos posted up on the Herald and the newspapers. And and then wasn't actually too much being recognized until recently.
Yeah. The print stuff is nice, but it's not until it airs when you're really noticed. You know what I mean? And I think as far as first impressions go, Kurt, I think the nation had their first impression of you. You would have got the first impression rose of the nation. You got a lot of airtime. You got a lot of positive press before the show started because of your story and because of the type of guy you are and all that. And I think that was a really, really positive thing. I think it was great. You were a great marketing tool for the show.
But I mean, then no one says any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
So even that stuff gave me another boost of confidence.
Yeah.
Not saying my ego needed to be stroked or anything like that. But saying actually, these companies and these businesses want to get in contact with you to do these articles or interviews,
Yeah.
it's nice to be like, actually, a message that I do have or my story is worth talking about. So it's a bit more confidence boost that, hey, I made the right decision of going on my show.
How are you going to look forward? Like, what's it now for you? Because, I mean, now that you've been removed, some call this 15 minutes of fame. It can come and go in a fleeting moment, no matter how good or bad the press is. What is there now for you? Do you want to carry on this publicity, or do you want to carry on this building your profile as somebody who is as a positive role model for people? And if so, how are you looking at doing it?
No, absolutely. So if someone approached me and asked me to do an interview or say, hey, do you want to be the spokesperson or do you want to help us with something? If it fits in with my morals and values or something that I agree with, and I can fit it into my schedule, absolutely. But I said I wasn't on the show to become an influencer.
No.
That was never my thing.
No.
Yeah, you got a bit of a social media boost in terms of followers. But that was never my cup of tea.
Cool.
I was there to find love. And obviously I didn't get to find love with someone else, but you found love within yourself, which was pretty good.
Stop it. Just stop it, Kurt. Bloody hell. Yeah. No, that's awesome.
So definitely not on the, if things pop up, you'll look at the opportunities. Again, you don't want to pass an opportunity up without giving it a serious thought. So
Yeah. That's very cool. Kurt, I think we'll wrap it up there, bro. That's pretty good.
You don't want to talk about the Warriors?
I think everybody else has spoken to you about the Warriors enough, brother. And if people are curious, they can just type in Kurt Warriors, and you're going to be the number one thing. Although I would like to know if you get some box seats, and I will definitely be joining you along with some of the other boys to some of the games this year.
Yeah, no worries. If it comes up, I'll send an invite to the boys, and we'll go host you guys at a Warriors game.
One thing I like about the way that you support the Warriors, and this is something I've always believed, is that if a man can be passionate about something, passionate about a sports team, passionate about a hobby or anything like that, and like really hone in, he has the capabilities of being passionate about a woman. And I think that's important because most people now are so sporadic in their thinking. They think so broadly, but if there's a couple of things that you're really passionate about, if you can prove that you're a passionate dude, I believe that women should acknowledge that and think that he can be passionate about me. That's my thought.
Yeah, and just to add on to that one, it is the Warriors. They have the highs and lows.
Yeah.
So I can still be loyal to the Warriors after 25 years.
Mate.
Again, that shows you I can be loyal to someone else.
That's beautiful. Cheers, brother.
Hey, no worries.
Cheers.
Appreciate it. Cheers.
Good.